Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Narcissu. So, apparently this screen boots up after I just click the start and choose the Narcissu. So, we're just going to follow the second chapter because it seems like we got the first chapter done basically. So, we're going to the Silver Coupe, I guess. Whatever they may mean by that. There's going to be some trouble or something. Also, I checked like the other translation, like really like kind of just skimmed through this, and yeah, it seems to be like more to the original. I guess like instead of like television, it says like 32-inch CRT, something like that, you know, stuff like this. It's like it's fine, but it's a little bit more convoluted, I guess. Like boring New York. Television program, something like this, you know, instead of like boring program or something, you know. So yeah, this like translation that we chose is a little bit smoother to read, so I think I'm fine with this. So let's just continue, I guess. So I've started like when I'm like recording this, I started like new channel on Discord where I give like little tips of what this series might be, and I'm very curious if anyone will like figure it out what it is before I start to upload this episode. So yeah, anyway, let's just continue. 2005. Let's go. A few days later, plunging further into the depths of winter. During this time that the rest of the world called exam period, we're sitting watching TV, the same as ever. This is boring. This exchange that could not even be called conversation. We would spend all our days in this fashion, killing time without meaning or purpose. Speaking of which, when is it for you? Oh, the date? Like how much time did they give you? Oh, never mind. It's like the day when they like release you to home. Okay, I see. I see, so it's today. That today was a temporary discharge that she alluded to earlier. Huh? Yeah, I guess that's true. Because even if she were to be readmitted to 7F, that would be her last time. Also, in the other translation, it's just called 7th floor. And in the time, I'd probably be discharged and readmitted myself. It didn't seem like that things could be timed so that we could see each other again. It's still too early for her, I think, to decide that. She still doesn't think about this much. About where I'm going to die? No, not yet. She knows that someone sadly, that's the expression of someone being discharged for the second time. I still felt nothing about the situation, and I hadn't heard from the doctors about my first discharge. Come to think of it, I wonder if she would finally decide what her own answer, the dilemma would be. Damn. A lady came up to us with these words, Satsumi. Okay, I need to remember, Satsumi. This was probably her mother. She nodded slightly at me. I did not rise. She nodded slightly at me again, and then turned to leave this place. She did stretch out her hand towards that girl, who was likely her daughter. But the girl did not move at all. She stayed rooted in her chair even after her mother had grabbed her hand. Oh my god. That's horrible. Wow, the way to start the chapter. She took off in visitor's slippers in a sprint towards the nurse's station. There were but two things left in this place, her and me, both in chairs. I don't know a thing about her disease or its status. The only thing I knew were courtesy of her white ID bracelet. Her name was Satsumi, and her blood type was O. Or 0. But we were inhabitants of the 7th floor, and she was older than me, if just by a little. Hey, do you want to lie down over there until the doctors come? So, is she like actually older? I don't believe this. She doesn't look that old. Unless... no, she didn't look that old with the CG. Okay. Oh. Hey, do you want to lie down over there until doctors come? I pointed at the corner of the lounge, at the couch, at something that I had never seen use. I think like she's going to try and escape now. Because if she goes with doctors and her mother, she's going to die at home, probably. And she doesn't want that. Jesus, this is such a heavy topic, oh my god. I will support you back, after all. Saying those words and nothing more, she stood up quickly. Hey, wait. Don't do anything foolish. But she was already halfway down the corridor before I could finish the sentence. Yeah. Nightfall. After lights out. Bored of reading manga as usual, I wandered through the darkened hospital. The usual lounge now pitched black from the absence of light. That was where I found her. Hey, so you're still here? Oh, so she didn't left to home. So did she hide? And mother basically went home without her and she didn't went to house actually? Or maybe they checked her and there's actually something really wrong with her. Maybe it progressed too much and she cannot be discharged anymore. What's up? Not feeling well again? Was all she said as she stared at the window. So her discharge had been postponed after all. Yeah, it seems like it. No one knew when the next chance would come, but it was probably be weeks from now, not days. Hey, could it be that you feigned illness today? Yeah, pretty much. No, that probably wasn't the right way to put it. See, you couldn't say that we weren't sick all the time. Yeah. You can just say like, it's more painful today. What I'm saying is, you didn't want to leave the hospital, do you? Because there's no afterwards for you now. But there was no answer to my question in her silence. She'd asked me so many times before about where I want to die. And had always been that I didn't know, yet that she didn't want to die at home or here on 7F. So you have no other place to go after all. No, nothing. This familiar lounge floated in darkness, her familiar stance, looking out the window with so much as acknowledging my existence. This place we call the hospital, in its extinguished lights, in spite of the fact that it was only 11 PM or so. This was the turning point between what was normal and what was not. On top of that, we're inhabitants of the 7th floor, bereft of any choice save one, death on the 7th floor or death at home. The outside world she's staring at on the pitch black behind the 7F, the normal world. The buildings and homes were still radiant with the lights, and the street overflowed with the people going home. And although my awareness of it was still vague, I was already an inhabitant of 7F, already an abnormal existence. There was no longer any way for me to go back to the other world, was there now? Most likely not. My time is at a standstill. I spent so many seasons, so many white, overcast skies, without the want or need to converse with anybody. At first I looked down at the healthy kids going to school and the people walking back and forth on the streets. And when I got tired of that, I always watched TV. Nothing else to do. Nothing else I could do. This is such a recurring phrase that hits so hard. Nothing else I could do. Even when there was a snow outside the window, it was always bright and sunny inside the TV screen. A dream world stretching out before my eyes, without heat, without cold, without pain. I sought comfort from my imagination, and so I amassed a huge knowledge base. Meaningless trivia upon meaningless trivia over and over. And before I knew it, nothing that appeared on the TV seemed real anymore. And in quick succession, it also happened to books, games, and even my family. Finally, I was unable to view myself as anything real, as if I were staring at the scenes of another person's life. She detached herself from her own life basically at this point. And just not seeing the world as the part of herself basically. Oh my god. That's why I was not even surprised, even when they transferred me to the 7F. If I but closed my eyes, the world would always vanish. So I thought I'd be fine, and I did as I thought. And soon enough, my second discharge from the hospital. By the time of my next admission, I'd probably be too weak to stand by myself. And for my own self, the one who couldn't do even anything, even though she knew this to be painful. Wait, did we just time skipped to her second discharge? So, what was her name? Okay, I will cut into her name. The other girl didn't get discharged for the third time for the very long time, because it's a second time for us already. And she still lives. Whoa. Okay, I will cut for a second. I need to find her name. One moment. So her name is Setsumi. And also apparently she's actually older. So I'm not confused anymore. I've been digging too much into this, I think. But it seems like she's older actually. Slightly or something. But yeah, they were talking right. She's older than the girl that we are playing as. I found my own self, the one who couldn't do anything even though she knew this to be pitiful. I found my own self, the one who had no destination to be ridiculous.
時間を止め、心を止め、胸に大きな傷跡を作り。
What a scene. Looking out of the window, the open sky. There's a rain, isn't it?
それでも22年も生きてきたのに。
Yeah. Like I said, apparently she's older. Yeah, okay. Game just literally gave me the age. Okay. 22 years. Okay. A few days after that, the overchanging clouds had cleared up, and an endless winter sky was in their place. Oddly enough, my father had come to visit, a difficult expression on his face the entire time. But he was saying something or other about my insurance. And at that time, his eyes were not unhappy at all. I have to talk to the doctors for a bit. Wait, what? About insurance. His eyes were not unhappy? Okay, so you have enough insurance to pay for his hair treatment? Actually, did we actually got a... Wait, did we get to know if we play as the girl or guy? Wait, I will check like my first recording for the first episode. I assumed we are the girl basically because I saw the girl always like everywhere in the game, but this is the Satsumi, so I assumed wrongly? Do we play as the girl? Wait, let me like cut and check really fast the first episode to see if we got actually established that. Because we were called protagonist, right? And we didn't get the name. So we have no established gender basically, character. Nah, I will not check. So he or she basically, yeah. Maybe they will tell me later. I just like realized that. Like for his insurance or her insurance. Okay. I have to talk to the doctors. Ah, fuck. Saying this, my father strode down the corridor towards the dim conference room where this had all begun, or so it seemed. My hospital room was now empty. Having nothing to do, I reached for the weekly magazines that they brought at the stands for me. And accompanying them, just as ever, there were fruits and drinks, as well as get-well gifts. And to the other side of the basket that the fruits were piled in, right in front of the melons that I so hated. What I saw was a set of key cards. The keys shone silver. Those were the keys to my father's pride and joy. That Coupe that he'd sweated over the upholstery and outwards. The Coupe that I'd asked to borrow a long time ago, and I'd been told no without a single delay. And my still unused driving license in the breast pocket of my pajamas. And even it had lost its chance for use that day. It remained with me, waiting, as if that were its proof of life. In silence, I grabbed the keys. It happened as if on impulse. I had no idea what my motives were either. I just seized them without a second thought, as if I were looking at the scene on the TV. In the few days' worth of meds that I'd been dispensed, I stuffed those into a bag and I headed down the corridor. We are going to steal a car? I was like past the nurse's station. We strode towards the elevators. A bag in my right hand and the keys in my left. The long neglected license in my breast pocket. in front of the lounge, and the next thing I saw was the girl sitting there watching TV as per usual, staring blankly at the boredly at the screen, sitting on the little foldable chair. Hey, that's showing good?
そう見える
No, not at all. They all too expected the exchange. Her eyes looked as far away as they always had. Well then, shall we go together? Okay, I did not expect it to run away from the hospital with another person with a stolen car. Okay. Also, if they will not tell me actually the name or a gender, I don't know if that's established nowhere in the game, then you can comment in the comments basically what you think, like, are we playing as the girl or the guy? It doesn't really matter, I guess, but I like to know like little details. That's why I'm trying to like estimate, you know, the age and everything. But I don't think like we ever had like anything that would like direct us to one or another. We are just protagonists. Maybe I should call protagonist him then, because protagonist is basically male, right? Like usually. I know. But I will just go with she, because that's what I've been doing like till now. Anyway. I continued talking as I showed her the keys in my hand. See? I don't want it to be at home.
私は7階の家
Wow. I wonder if like this not unhappy face on the father's face was just because he decided to not pay any insurance anymore and just leave him here. Or her, like protagonist. That's why he was not unhappy, because didn't have to like spend any more money. Because they had like fake smiles, as we had mentioned before. So they're not really caring about us. Well then, shall we go together? I did not expect them to like actually ride in the stolen car. With that, she stood up from her chair. Her hair swayed with her and gazed the tip of my nose. And then she too stuffed a few days worth of medicine bag. And we made to leave 7F together. I switched to that boring TV. The grating laughter of the main character was forever obliterated. Both of us in the pajamas crowd boarded the elevator, heading down from the top floor down to 1F. At 1F we headed not for the ER entrance, but for the outpatients clinic's entrance. The cold winter air struck away at our faces, and they are going just in their pajamas. This is crazy. All the more strong in the wide open space like the parking lot. The two of us wandered around the spacious field, looking about ourselves with unease. And after a little while, we came across my father's car. A silver Coupe. My father's pride and joy, impeccably maintained. This is some fancy car. I immediately inside the car and opened the door. Go ahead, get in.
分かった
I sank in the driver's seat, and there's like not a second thought from her. Wow. She really hopes that we are going together. I sank into the driver's seat. She was in the passenger seat, and she was so short that she'd had a hard time seeing the road. Oh, that's a British car. The wheel is on the wrong side. I turned the key in the ignition and stepped lively on the accelerator. Just as I'd learned during training, which was few years ago. Reassuring engine noises filtered into the cabin. I released the handbrake and then applied the clutch. Now we could go anywhere. That was our plan. As long as you have gas, because you don't have money to refill. Alright, let's go. Also, you need food and stuff, so I wonder how this will go. She nodded slightly. Instead of replying, it shifted into second gear, and the car accelerated smoothly. Unused to the clutch and swervingly slightly, I advanced slowly. Yeah, it's my first time in car. Well, it's the first time since I got my license that I've driven a car. The exit to the parking lot was now in the view, and the sluggish road beyond it without traffic lights. I turned onto it. The sound of honking car horns, those were directed at me as I cut into the road. This where the Coupe complained, but did not stop as I walked the unfamiliar clutch, the stiff gearbox. I must really have rubbed the other drivers the wrong way, as the honking of horns did not seem likely to cease. Okay, what is he doing wrong? Or she? The protagonist. God damn it. Okay, I'm bounded in my mind protagonist as he now. I don't... God damn it, I'm so confused now. That's why I don't like having assumptions about something and not get answered for the long time, because I don't know what to think. But I just continued to drive without caring much. None of it quite seemed real at all. Hey. Are you scared? Oh wow, what a question. Oh wow. No, not really. Still before noon, the high-flying sun, the skies of January above and beyond, the windshield, sky so blue that it seems almost in morning. We had no destination. Journey without destination. There's only one destination they have for themselves. Oh my god, why am I starting to think like that? Oh my god. On that cold day, with an iron clutch and a whirring car. On that day, when we drove onto the highway in our pajamas. On that the very day of winter. Okay, we're on the highway. Baraki. Around when that blazing high sun had changed to the dusky orange. So they were driving all day. We're continuing to drive. Just driving in any direction at random. Yep. Okay. And in place that I did not recognize. We're stopping for a bit. I finally brought the car to a halt. A roadside somewhere far away from civilization. No traffic anywhere to be seen, lonely. Having stopped the car in this nameless place, I started inspecting around the cabin. If there was anything useful here, we just ran off without any preparation at all, but there was something troubling leaping out at me. With that on my mind, I first scout the dashboard. There's nothing here at all. A couple hundred yen cluttered around the gear stick, a few manga volumes, and a cheap disposable camera. It wasn't as if we had a destination, but the onboard GPS navigation system looked broken. And I only had about 8,000 yen on me. Oh, you actually have some money, like a little bit. So you can afford like some very cheap, like some food. For at least like a few days, maybe. Depends what you buy. I still probably not enough days. It depends how much time do they have. Like, what was her name again? A second. Satsumi. Satsumi that seems to not have much time, but we should have more. So are we going to get back to hospital later? How the story will end? So combined with the pocket change, I'd found I only had 9,000 yen or so. Of course, I hadn't really expected that there would be anything in the car anyway, but this lack of money presents a problem. It wouldn't be possible for us to find lodging on this budget, yeah. I was thinking more about only food, because you can technically sleep in the car, you know? Which isn't the best place to sleep when you are like, when you're having cancer and you are ill. But yeah, and it didn't seem like that girl would have any money on her either. No, it's nothing. I have expected this from the beginning. It wasn't as if I'd thought this through enough to have things like a plan or schedule. I just wanted to get out right then and there. I did not want to stay where I was. Underneath the curtain of twilight, I started up the silver coupe again. Hey, are you hungry? I asked her as I drove along. Come to think of it, she hasn't eaten anything since morning. And you remember what she said? Stop eating. Oh my god. She's not going to eat anything until she dies. Want to stop at convenience store or something? Hey, don't be like that. The food's much better than anything up to 7 on 7F. She did not respond to me. Instead, she looked straight down at the pink pajamas she's wearing. Oh yeah, that's right. I looked down on my own clothing. Sure enough, in those pajamas, we would be conspicuous no matter where we went. Yeah, you cannot go to the store and just buy things like that. I mean, you can still say like, I live nearby and I just came by because it's late, you know, in my pajamas, I'm going to sleep soon. Like, some people do that, I guess, so they could go with this. Not that we weren't conspicuous right now. In any case, we would have to do something about them. And having made my decision, I steered back towards the civilization. Okay. After a little more driving, we arrived in a place whose names I don't know. Probably somewhere close to a rail station. Certainly enough people around for it to be the case. There's gotta be one around here somewhere. Oh? What do you mean? I looked around anxiously as I drove. My back pitched a little forward, not touching the seat. Oh, there's one. There one is. Last, a coin laundromat. Oh! Okay. It looked pretty run down from the outside. At the first floor in a small 4-room building. This was a good place, isn't it? I stopped the car, not far from the entrance to this place. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Leaving her and her confused face in the car, I walked into the laundromat. Are we going to steal clothes? We stole car and now we are going to steal clothes. Yeah, probably. My nose was filled with the smell of bleach and detergent the moment the automatic doors opened. The exterior of the laundromat had told no lie. The washers and dryers were old and run down as well. There's nobody here. The empty laundromat swallowed whole my murmured words. Only a single dryer was inoperational, making its characteristic humming noises. I immediately walked to that machine and checked its timer. It had to operate for 30 minutes on 200 yen, and only 5 minutes had elapsed so far. Okay, so 5 more. Whoever it was had probably gone elsewhere to kill some time. Ruminating over this, I looked around just one more time to reassure myself that no one was around. Then, satisfied that I was alone, I put my hand on the door handle of the drying machine, and I abruptly opened it. Okay. As the door opened during operation, the dryer spun down to a forced halt. I pulled out a clump of half-dried clothing, ignoring the heat and the humidity. And after looking around once more to make sure no one was around, I walked out of the laundromat just like that. Wow, grabbed just some random clothes. Wow. They're kinda criminals now. I mean, I get it, like, this is like their last journey, basically. But they're kinda criminals, right? Oh. She sounded slightly surprised when she saw my arms full of clothing. But I threw the clothes in the backseat without a word. Yeah. Alright, let's go. I looked back at the bundle of clothes with the steering wheel in one hand. Gaudy looking sweaters and jeans and almost nothing else. All in a pretty big size at that. Well, at least we have something else than pajamas. All still wet, but the car's heating will dry them out soon. Changing to whatever you like later. She didn't react to those words either. She just looked back at the pile of clothes. Look, we had no choice. Yeah. Even she knows that was a thief. Theft, sorry. Well, obviously. If it wasn't as if I liked doing that kind of thing. And it obviously wasn't as if there was anything I was saving that money for. It was just that given the amount we had, it would be very difficult to buy new clothes. After I'd driven for a bit, around when the moon shone full above us, I stopped the car next to some public park. Probably a place for children to play, tucked away in the corner of the residential area. And then, I started looking for the clothes I'd stolen some time back. They were mostly dry by now, thanks to the heating in the car. All's men's clothing after all, okay. Not like you can decide now what you want to wear. I didn't inspect the hip ones before. Veritable mountains of gaudy jeans and sweaters. Probably someone around my age. And the same size, looked like. Okay, this must be a guy then. Around the same age, and these were like pretty big clothes, apparently. And they're mostly... Oh, they're all men's, yeah. So it's like for some big guy clothing, basically. I don't think like the girl would be the size of like big guy. Especially not after like being so for such a long time in the hospital and like having cancer basically. Yeah, so we're playing as the guy. I think like that's pretty much confirmed at this point. Probably, yeah. And sitting in the driver's seat of the car, I changed to a pair of jeans and a sweater. Hey, you should get changed too. Yeah. Well, better that than nothing. Then will you go on wearing pajamas forever?
わかった。
She answered reluctantly, grabbed some jeans and other clothes and opened door. Hey, where are you going?
着替えてくる。
And just like that, she started walking to the park's bathroom. Yeah, okay. This is even better evidence because she doesn't want to be seen naked, basically, by this guy. Okay, that pretty much confirms who we play. Hey, that was fast. She'll come back in short order. The pink pajamas that she's been wearing in her hands, a white shirt and a pair of jeans on her body. Well, that turned out fairly well. No answer. I expected this, but everything was too big and baggy on her. The jeans were too long and rolled up to the up at the cuffs, and the sleeves of the shirt were much the same way.
パジャマのままの方が良かった。
Huh. Cam, no, don't say that. It's a little warmer this way at least. She made an oddly slightly dissatisfied face at my words. Oh? Is that it? We're hoping for more girlish clothes?
別に。
You did. The same response as ever. I was sure that she was unhappy with the baggy shirt, but she soon returned to her usual lack of expression. This is hard, seeing how she gave up on living basically at this point. She just counted down to her like third or fourth discharge, and then she knew like she just have to go and just die on her own circumstances, basically how she wants to go. This is so sad. It had begun to rain all of a sudden. A freezing rain, falling from the frigid January sky as if it had forgotten how to stop. The countless raindrops sputtering on the windshields and obscuring the view from the inside. And when each grew too large for the surface tension to hold it up, a few of them gathered, slid down, became rivers. And those rivers swallowed up raindrops underneath them and ran to the bottom. I stared empty at the rain from the inside. Parking lot somewhere, a desolate place in the middle of mountains. Having finished shopping at the convenience store, we were spending the night here. Okay. A dinner menu: 2 rice bowls, 500ml porcelain sweet, half a bag of potato chips. I don't know what that is. Like porcelain. What? It's been a long time since we last did anything like this. She murmured with the convenience store rice bowl in one hand. It wasn't anything of wonderful quality, but it was far better than anything served up in the 7F. And when we were both going after the potato chips, she suddenly stopped reaching for it. Something the matter?
別に。
But her eyes were turned past the windshield glazes by the rain. At the few white flowers on the roadside. Oh. At some flowers soaked by rain. I don't know if someone had planted them or if they were wild, but I remember something about them. Were those Narcissu?
ナルキソス。
Narcissus.
水
Alright, Narcissus. Well, I didn't know flower names all that well. I'd at least heard of Narcissus before. And this girl who seldom spoke a single word was actually talking about something. And so I followed along. And speaking of which, are those not exactly the the real deal as well?
厳密には違う。
Huh. So they must be pretty rare then.
別にどこにでもあるわよ。
Why talking about flowers makes me feel so sad and devastated? Is that supposed to happen? Anywhere? Where exactly? It wasn't as if I had any deep purpose in asking. It was just that I was making conversation as best as I could. And yet this girl thought about it for a bit, and slowly opened her mouth.
西
West. West?
島が有名。
Oh. Awaji Island. Hey, wait. How far do you think that is? Oh, he wants to go there. I just started driving a car, so I wasn't even halfway proficient yet. It was probably about 700 kilometers away. And even on the tollways, I couldn't say how long it would take. And in the first place, I didn't think we had enough money for that. Yeah, we need to buy gas. If we went by normal highways instead of the tollways, there was no way we would have enough for gas. Hey, don't say stuff like that. You can't mean to go there, right?
誰が行きたいなんて言ったの？
It sounded like you want. Wow.
答えただけ。
And just like that, she went back to staring at the flowers across the windshield. A thick haze of cold rain stemming on the glass. She kept gazing and gazing and gazing. I didn't particularly want to go there either, but I had nowhere else that I wanted to go. Yeah, you're just out there for your last journey. Oh my god. No, don't, stop. Oh wow. Okay, that was... oh. Okay, thank god it finished. I was afraid that I'm going to try it like here soon. Okay, we just finished the second chapter, the Silver Coupe. So that was the car, and now we are going to have chapter 3 map. So yeah, let me know in the comments what do you think about the story so far, about this second chapter. They're kind of criminals, right? But I guess okay, I'm not going to judge them. This is their last journey. Let's just let them be, you know. Let's just let them be. And with that, I will see you in the next one. So click that like button if you like the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and become a member if you would like to support me and see these episodes earlier. Thank you once again, and for the Pocket Watch is going out.